Death is like the wind, always by my side.
What is up, guys? Today we are doing a different type of video. We are going over the champion and preseason 2023 roadmap, or whatever you call it. I think it'd be cool to see my reaction to it. So I haven't watched any of this yet, so yeah, let's just get into it and watch it together.
Hey everyone, I'm Ryan Reeve Morales.
It's not like too low or too loud.
You might remember me from all those champion roadmaps, but today, for reasons I can't even fathom, they put me in front of a camera again.
Who's this guy?
To talk about all of League this time.
Who is this?
So buckle up as I dive into some of the champions we have in development. After that, I'm going to pass the metaphorical mic over to Riot Froxon, who is going to talk to you about.
Heard a lot of things in it were cool, so I'm excited.
As well as our plans for preseason. So before we get into the new champions coming up this year, let's take a quick look back at the champions we've released in 2022 so far. First, we have the Speedy ADC Zay.
Awful design. Just gonna say it now. They have reworked this champion every single patch, either useless or broken as shit. Awful.
Then the girl boss, Renata Glass. After that,
I don't like her either.
Herself, Velvet.
I don't like that champ either.
And then most recently,
Nobody plays that champ. I don't see it literally ever.
and just around the
I just feel like the last 4 champions they made were like awful design. Like I don't see anyone play any of those champs, and if they do, it's just like their kits aren't interesting at all.
corner, we have the
Also, I'm not trying to be negative, but I'm just being like honest.
worthy of the Freljordian god.
This is cool though.
Udyr's development has been
This
a
is
long
cool.
time,
I like this.
especially
It feels
since
like their
the
new
first
champs are
season
really
of the
shit
league
design, but the reworks are
had
cool.
ultimate skin. We appreciate you all being
I like this
patient with
rework
us
a
on
lot.
this one, and hopefully the wait has been worth it.
Really cool.
So in addition to the new champions we've released this year, we've also been shipping a lot of Midscope updates to various champions, including Janna, Ahri, Swain, Taliyah,
Anna.
Olaf, and
What the fuck did they do to Diana?
Because we slowed down the release of new champions, we've had a bit more time to ship smaller updates to champions on the roster that have fallen behind the pack. So the goal of Midscope updates isn't to reimagine a champion's visuals, theme, or gameplay. That's reserved for VGUs. Instead, we want to freshen up champions that aren't living up to the expectations of the players who love them. We try to strengthen their fantasy even more.
All the guy just got murdered.
So for Swain, we pushed his fantasy of an unkillable front.
Okay, like Swain, I feel like he was already fine, and now they kind of just like made him overtuned, where like his ult doesn't have any cooldown at all. But I don't know. Like I don't know how you guys feel about Swain, but
And for Ahri, we focus on her fantasy of a mobile mage rather than the
I don't-
assassin she had become. We saw really great
I don't like
responses
Ahri's
to these
either.
projects,
I
as
feel like
well
all my
as
opinions are
healthy
negative, but like,
spikes
dude,
after their release.
I just don't like
Given all of this,
giving Ahri a reset. Is
we
just
wanna
not the
keep
play.
pursuing Midscope updates.
Kind of weird,
And
but
we already have a few champions we're exploring, including Nico and Syndra.
okay, that's good. I like this. I think Nico and Syndra are both like like Nico feels like the most awkward champion ever. It's like she doesn't feel like she's like fully done or something. I don't know if that makes sense, but like whenever I see Nico, it just like doesn't feel like a champion. It feels like a gimmick. So I like that, and I like Syndra because Syndra's design is kind of boring to me. It's just like press R, do a lot of damage. That's about it. So I like these choices.
So now let's talk about some projects I've been super excited to share with you.
Oh, shame.
So later this year, we have a new top lane tank hailing from Shurima.
Oh, dude, I love Shuriman champs. Shurima's so cool.
This new champion will introduce a part of Shurima that we haven't explored yet. The city.
What the? Wait, that looks like Papercraft. I feel like this is where like the Papercraft skins come
of
from.
Azuma. Now, Azuma is an oasis city-state in the southern outskirts of the desert, and unlike
No.
the rest of Shurima, they don't bow to Azir. Situated on one of the only water sources for miles, the people of Nazuma had to compete with giant monsters just trying to stay hydrated. It was a hard-fought struggle, but they eventually claimed the oasis.
I like the effort they're putting into this
and built their
video.
society around it. Now,
The
500
storytelling.
years later, this new champion leads the warriors of Nazuma to hunt those same monsters, using the rare resources they gained to build their infrastructure and weapons. He actually fought one of the largest monsters the desert has ever known, creating his unique Entofos out of its rare regenerating hide. Entofos are huge, blunt weapons that can be used.
So it's talking about like the tank,
but at
the
any
Shuriman
moment,
tank.
he can shatter them, revealing carefully crafted.
Has there been like a new tank recently?
Capable of tearing through any foe in seconds.
The 200 years tank? I feel like the last tank was like Orin. Orin's like not even that old. It's pretty old.
The crap out of you. It's honestly quite impressive to see. But you don't have to take my word. The entire city-state is basically
I'll mute if I cough.
impressed by him. I mean, he's Kasanti, the pride of Nazuma.
Sante.
You don't get that title for nothing. So after Kasanti, we'll be releasing the highly anticipated Aurelian Soul CGU.
Ooh, I'm excited for this.
A CGU, or Comprehensive Gameplay Update, is a new type of update we are testing out on Aurelian Soul. So the goal is to completely reimagine Asol's gameplay without changing his visuals or narrative at all. Since let's be honest, those aspects of Aurelian Soul are still amazing, even by today's standards. But I know what you're thinking. Let's talk.
Yeah, I've always like really liked Aurelian Soul. His gameplay is so disgustingly boring. So I'm really glad for this. I love like his like design. He's like, I don't know, like a blue dragon. He's just so cool.
Mr. Reeve, more action. And by action,
So I'm kind of excited what they're gonna do. Because right now he is so
Twist
boring.
my arm a little bit more, will you? Now keep in mind, the visuals are still a work in progress. One of the goals was to enhance his dragon.
Okay, I like that.
And what do dragons do? Well, they breathe fire, of course.
What the fuck?
Asol's new Q allows him to breathe fire for as long as he is.
Oh, wait, that's so cool.
But let's not forget the other thing dragons do: fly. His new W allows him to take to the skies. But this time, he doesn't have to walk in a straight line for like ever. He can now fly with the push of a button. But really, let's be honest. He's a dragon. And if there's one thing more iconic than either flying or breathing fire, it's flying while breathing fire, which you can do by combining his Q and W.
You can just drive by people? That's so that's so cool.
So after Aurelian
Nah,
Soul,
that's awesome.
we have a
What?
champion I've been literally dying to talk to you about. One of the things the League community...
Because I really like that, because I think both Dragon Champs are so disgustingly boring. Like, Shyvana is just, oh, get a power clear, do nothing, come out of the jungle 20 minutes in, stat check everyone. And then Aurelian Soul just like, oh, get a roam, get a roam. Like, both the Dragon Champs are so boring. They need to do something to Shyvana, too. Oh, that's really cool.
To see more Darkin champions. Darkin fans are like, throw me a frickin' bone here. And believe you me, I'm right there with you, barking for some Darkin.
Yeah, the Yumi.
One night, at around 2:34 a.m., I woke up in a fever sweat. And at that moment, it hit me. I'm on the champions team. If I want more Darkin, I can just talk to the team about it. And gosh dang it, I did just that. And the team was like, heck yeah, we want more Darkin as well. We love Darkin. So yeah, long story short, we're making a new Darkin assassin.
Assassin?
So I know what you're gonna ask.
Oh no, not another blue cane.
Darkin is trapped in some super awesome weaponry. Please tell us what it is. We must know. And while I love watching you all squirm,
dude, the last assassin was Kiana, and that shit was the most broken shit in the world.
my intricate yet vague champion roadmap teaser.
God.
I'm not gonna be that cruel today. The weapons are like the coolest part about Darkin after all. So this one was actually entrapped in a dagger, which is now a Darkin dagger, of course, because that's how that works. And here's what it looks like. Ooh, so edgy, so dark. And as to who
Scared.
or what got
I'm
hold of this
scared.
dagger, well, you'll just have to wait and find out.
Not darkened assassins, man.
Another thing a lot of people have been asking to see progress on is the Ari update that we announced at season start. Well, the ASU team has been hard at work and is ready to share some art, like the final composition seen here.
Oh
The base
shit.
version is close to complete, and the team is super excited to show you
Damn.
some of the progress on how she's looking in-game. Look at all those sweet polygons.
Not clean.
And here's a sneak peek of her updated VFX. Ari still has a ton of skins that also need to be updated, so she still needs a little more time in the Foxfire oven before we can get her in your hands. But you can expect to see her sometime early next year. So that's about it for champion news. Though I will leave you with one small thing. On top of wanting a new Darkin, we've seen a lot of players asking us to expand on Ixtal.
What is that?
We've also heard you asking for us to make a male enchanter.
Oh shit.
Well, I say, why not both? I'm happy to say we have right now, in very early development, a new male enchanter from Ixtal.
What is Ixtal?
The new champion will show a very different side to Ixtal, far from the lavish palaces.
Oh no.
So
Fuck
take a look at
Yana,
this
bro.
art teaser that the team working on him put together. Oh my god, they're so adorable. Well, that's enough cuteness for now. So as promised,
He made me cough.
Roxanne
Not my
on
fault.
the champion durability update and preseason.
Hey everyone, I'm Matthew Long Harrison, aka Riot Froxon, lead game designer on the Summoner's Rift team. We work on things like balancing the game, in-game systems like the durability update and items, and preseason. I've got a few things to cover today, so let's jump right into it. A few patches ago, we launched the Champion Durability Update. Our goal was to increase the durability and reduce the damage and healing of every champion in League. We've been closely monitoring the results, and after some targeted adjustments, we're really happy with where the update landed. A lot of you have mentioned how much you like the update, and that it feels good to have fights last longer with more chances for skill expression. And we're glad that it helped make League feel fresher. That said, we don't have plans to make changes of this size outside of preseason in the future, unless it's really necessary. What we don't want is for huge changes like this to disrupt League's competitive integrity, especially in the middle of the season. Speaking of which, let's talk about our plans for preseason.
Oh boy.
Similar to last year, we're making more targeted changes to various systems. Our multi-year goal is to bring everything in League up to modern standards before doing updates on the scale of Runes Reforged, Elemental Rift, or the item update again. So for this preseason, we're updating systems including communication and vision, making the jungle more exciting and accessible, and bringing back a familiar foe.
What does that mean?
Our communication system is showing its age, especially in comparison to some of our other games. So we're giving it some much needed attention with new features that'll make it easier to communicate with your team and walk away with the win. To that, we're expanding our in-game ping system to allow for better communication with your team. The current system only lets you share very basic communications, and while we appreciate your ingenuity with the limited pings you have, we wanted to give you more opportunity for clearer communication. The updated pings will include everything
Assist me?
you already know and love,
Harass? What the fuck?
plus expanded vision options and a call to
Freeze, danger, push. Okay, I feel like there's like too many. Is this really gonna do anything though? Because like paying for assistance is like okay, put like you're not. I'm not gonna like. When I want something to be pushed, I'm not gonna be like okay, I'm gonna use the push command. I'm just gonna ping for assistance. No. And like if I'm freezing, I'm just gonna like danger ping. I don't know.
plus
I don't
expanded
think this does
vision options
anything.
and a call to engage.
Oh, I guess it's cool, but
We're also thinking about ways to emphasize pings with teammates, plan macro strategy for objectives, and keep track of where pings are on the map, even if they're off your screen. In addition to the
think it might
changes
get
to
kinda cluttered.
communication, we're making some small improvements to the vision system, as it's a bit outdated. It's not super clear that you can swap vision trinkets, and it's definitely not clear how you can best utilize them. To that, we're exploring ways to make vision trinkets more intuitive. You'll be able to see how many wards you have on the map, and preview where they'll go when placing them in walls.
it's like so. I feel like it's taking away skill from the game even more. Well, I mean, I guess it's not. People like learn those
Focus
spots.
this year is the jungle. We know it's often a highly stressful role where you need heaps of knowledge to be baseline proficient. There's a lot riding on junglers, as they're often the backbone of the team's strategy, while sometimes getting unjustly flamed. So we're looking to make some changes to make
Fucking hate
jungling more
junglers.
intuitive, and to help alleviate some of its more painful parts. Our first change is improving buff sharing. Donating buffs to your laners is an important part of being a jungler, but it feels
Wait.
bad to lose the gold, experience, and bonuses they provide. We're exploring a bunch of things to make this more painless to junglers, like buffs leaving behind a little friend that also has a buff, and a few other
Huh?
potential direct
Wait. That's Huh? Wait, they're just killing Iron even more. What the that's like Iron's thing.
We're also looking at ways
That's
of
weird.
improving jungle camp patience rules. The goal of this change is to make it so you don't get overly punished by accidentally pulling camps too far. You shouldn't have to know exactly what pixel to stand on to do red buff and raptors at the same time without one resetting. So we're making changes that will make it less punishing when that happens.
Yeah.
We know some junglers like to hyper-optimize their clears, and we want that knowledge to be rewarded. We'll still keep unique, optimal clears for different champions, like Kayn starting raptors and Shaco doing whatever it is he does. All this said, we're not trying to make mastering jungle easier, but we do want to make it easier to start jungling. We still want you to be rewarded for taking the time to master your role in champions.
I mean,
There are
that's
some
kind of
other
weird.
improvements we're exploring for the jungle, but it's still too early to share more, so we'll check back in later.
I don't really like that. It's just like, again, removing skill from the game. It's like you should like learn, like you should be punished if you're like bad at clearing. I don't know.
The final preseason change
You just
we wanna
baby
talk
down the
about
game way too much.
is the long-awaited return of everyone's favorite Drake, the Chemtech Drake. While we're bringing Chemtech Drake back from the dead, she won't bring you back from the dead anymore. Instead, the new and improved Chemtech Soul grants more damage and damage reduction when you're low health.
More damage and damage. Wait.
Instead, the new and improved Chemtech Soul grants more damage and damage reduction when you're low
Damage and damage reduction when you're low. But that's just like so broken for like Tryndamere. What?
health. And when the Chemtech Drake takes over the rift, the plants on the map mutate and become empowered. For example, Scry's Bloom will grant movement speed when moving towards revealed enemies, and Blast Cone will take you further than ever before,
What? What? Huh? Nah.
from blue buff to mid lane.
Nah. Dude, I already hate Blast Cone.
We
Man.
still have other plans for preseason,
Whatever.
including the usual updates.
I'm just a
and
fun
things to
hater, I
come.
guess.
And we'll share more information about our plans for these, and everything we discussed today as we get close to
What the fuck?
That's all I have today. Thanks for watching, and let us know what you think about everything you heard. I'll hand things back to Reeve to say goodbye.
Thanks, Frog.
I feel like Chemtech Soul is gonna be way too like dependent on what champion you play. I mean, I already know like some souls are like that, like Air Soul for example. But it's like that sounds so broken on like Tryndamere, Olaf, and like stuff like that. Whereas like a champion like Azir or Victor or something, like that soul's gonna be like absolutely useless. No.
So as you can see, we have a lot
I guess the damage
of
reduction is
exciting things in development. And as always, I've had a blast
It's
finally
fun.
sharing all this cool stuff.
Better than the last
with
Chemtech Soul, that's for
all
sure.
of you. Wait. Uh-huh. Yeah? So I'm hearing that there is one last thing we forgot to show you all. You all remember the skin line you voted for at the beginning of the year, right? I think it was the Gothic skin line revamp. Well, our skins team has been hard at work reimagining that skin line, and they really want to share a bit of it with you now. So it's time for me to say goodbye, bye, and time for all of you to see some sweet concept art for the new Fright Night skins.
That's Draven. Oh, that's pretty cool. Renata. What the hell? What Urgot guy? Bundle. I mean, I feel like these skins are cool, but I don't understand how this is Gothic theme. Like this doesn't seem like a goth. This seems like a Halloween. It just seems like Halloween skins, no? Doesn't really feel like Gothic at all. I think they're pretty good, but I wouldn't really call them Gothic. You know? I think like more emo. This is more like 5 Day at Freddy's type shit. Like basic shit. Halloween. Yeah, that's about it. I think a lot of it, I mean the new champs sound really cool, especially the Aurelion Soul. The coolest thing about this was Aurelion Soul. I really like that. Like the Breathing Fire. I love Aurelion Soul. And the only reason I do not play him is because his gameplay is the most boring thing. And there's a reason for that. Everyone knows that. Because nobody plays that character. I will play 500 games of League and I will probably see him like one time, if that. Everyone thinks he's boring. So I think that is the coolest part about all this. I mean, new champ, Shurima tank sounds cool. Kind of scared about the Darkened Assassin a little bit. That's kind of terrifying because Kayn is already like disgusting. And this is going to be a 2022 assassin. 2023 at that time, probably. Kind of terrifying. Yeah, Ari, whatever. Another enchanter. Hopefully it's a cool type of enchant. I didn't even know it mentioned enchanter. I thought it was a tank. I thought they said it was a tank. Guess not. Yeah, hopefully that's not too toxic like Yumi or anything. And yeah, that's about it. I think most of the changes are pretty cool. Nothing was like awful. I'm kind of scared with the Chemtech break, but yeah, that's about it. And hope you guys enjoyed my reaction to the video. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Have a good night.